What is up? Pokerbrandon here. What are we looking at? A board getting turned over. I'm pulling in purple chips, black chips, red chips. They're falling over. I gotta say though, I love when my stacks are falling over and making a big mess in front of me. I think every poker player loves it when they get a mess of chips of a variety of colors being thrown their way. How did this happen? Well, to be quite honest, I was playing 2-3 no limit hold'em first. I lost about 3 to 4 buy-ins at the Gardens. That's about $800. And because I was down 800, I was like, F this. I'm going to 5-5-10 and I'm going to win all that back. So I ended up sitting at a 5-5-10 table on a Monday with all the regulars, not a single fish in sight. Anyway, $300 to $800 buy-in, Monday, 4 p.m., the Gardens Casino in Hawaiian Gardens, California. This is going to start off with a +1 limp. And keep in mind, this is 5-5-10. The 10 is not a straddle. It is a 10 automatic mandatory 10. So it's a three blind game. So I had about 1,500 in front of me because I won a couple bomb pots, and I believe I won a regular pot. So yeah, and by the way, there's $25 mandatory bomb pots every dealer change and every new player. So the cutoff ends up limping in as well. Cutoff was a very, very tight player. I would say one of the lowest VPIPs on the table. And my VPIP though was probably about even. So we were both about I want to say 3% VPIP, and it's pretty normal to see very low VPIPs at the table and nobody getting too fishy. So because my VPIP was quite low here and I was on the button with a trash suited hand, I felt like this hand was a good time to steal the blinds. Players at this game tend to just fold to you pre-flop if you never open for 5 to 6 orbits and then you open big. They tend to just want to fold and they assume you have a big hand. So I try to play off of that. So I open Queen 2 suited on the button because I'm in position, and if I do get called, I can at least play hopefully heads up in position. But worst case scenario happens. Small blind cold calls another tight aggressive player on the big blind cold call. Calls, not cold call, because it's just a regular open. But then UTG calls, and plus, actually, when UTG called, he says, "Oh, if you're in, I'm in. Everybody in." And he kind of announces that, and then everybody does end up calling. I gotta be honest though, I was quite surprised to see the +1 just calling and the cutoff just call, because they seem to be tight regulars. And I felt like they might limp raise because I assume they're playing bigger hands. But when they just call, I do feel like cutoff and +1 has a pocket pair. And maybe, I don't know what small blind, big blind, or UTG will have here. Keep in mind, UTG is not a UTG. He's actually the straddle. But yeah, so flop comes out 2-6-2. So I hit a miracle trips with Queen 2 on the button. I'm 6 ways, and then the small blind donks. He donks out 75. Now the good news is if he's donking with a 2, I'm about to play a really big pot with him. And in the words of, I believe, Phil Galfon or Charlie Carell, I really can't remember what video it was, I'm going to get the money in, because in this hand, flopping trips with a queen kicker, if it's my time to die, it is my time to die. And I will just die. So after he bets 75, it folds all the way over to the cutoff, who just calls. And when he just calls, I feel like he has a pocket pair. It's not aces, not kings, probably not queens, because I block queens. So, and I think he would actually raise that pre-flop or limp raise it. So it can't be those hands. I feel like, it could be a set of 6s, I believe, which would be a full house, which would be very unfortunate. But like I said, if it's my time to die, it is my time to die. And in this hand, I'm going to die if I have to. So holding Queen 2 here, I think that okay, so honestly, I did not want to raise it because my VPIP was so low that I felt like if I did raise, I'm just going to fold out like the pocket pairs, like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. And I did not want that. But at the same time, I want to get more money in the pot. I'm looking at small blind stack and cutoff stack, and we're all kind of deep. We're all double pretty much the buy-in, almost, not really. But we have more than 800, so I need to blow it up this pot. So I decide I'm gonna raise, and I raised it up 200 more on top of their $75 bets. So I make it 275, and I'm hoping that both players might just call one time and see a turn. And I don't mind it if they jam over me, because I feel like if they do jam over me, it's not going to be a full house. Small blind actually tank folds, and then cutoff is going to tank jam. And I did think this one through for about a minute, because he was so tight at the table that when he tank jams, I don't think he has a full house, but I did think maybe he actually has, he could have ace 2, but I don't know. You know, he seemed like an old man. It was very tight, and I guess he wasn't aggressive because he just limp called. So I felt like he was a tight passive guy, and you never really know how guys play until you watch them play for a while. And I've never seen this guy play. And when he just jams, I do tank a little bit, because I just want to think it through, but I have the intention to call. But I thought it through. I was always going to call, but I wanted to look at him, see his face, see what he's doing, see how he feels, because it's always good to see how a player looks when they put in a bet like this. And I know I'm going to find out what he has anyway, because I know I'm going to call. So I'm kind of soaking in like the energy that he has while he does this play before I actually call. But yeah, so that might be weird of me. Let me know if I'm one of the only players you've ever heard that does that. Like, they know they're going to call, but they kind of intentionally just wait a little bit to just get a read on the guy and see how he looks and see what he's doing. It's not really a slow roll, because I'm not trying to slow roll them. I'm trying to actually soak in some information before I actually make the call. But yeah, and when I say he had a low VPIP, I want to say maybe 1% VPIP. Like, he was super tight. But yeah, I make the call, because if it's my time to die, like I said, I'm gonna die. And he asked to run it twice. I say no one time. Turn is the 3 of diamonds. River is an 8, and I show the 2, and he kind of shakes his head a little bit disappointed, and then he mucks, and he will later tell me, or I guess flash his hand to the player to his right, and he walks away from the table. But the player to his right said that he showed him pocket jacks. It makes sense to me that this player did have pocket jacks. But yeah, I think he was going to limp raise, but after I opened, my VPIP was too low for him to limp raise. I'm Pokerbrandon, I'm out.